Hey guys, hey Gophers, I'm Mackenzie and welcome back to Gopher Nation News. Did you guys know this is the last Gopher Nation News episode of this quad? I know, it's crazy, it's insane. We've come so far together. I would just like to say that even though it's a little hectic at the moment, everyone's trying to get their work in for Thursday. You know, quad ends on Thursday, this Thursday. And I know everyone's trying to get their work in. I just want to remind you all that keep yourself in a good mental state. Keep your clothes clean like I have. You see, they're clean. Wash yourself, brush your teeth, and just keep yourself in a good mindset as we finish this last week. We're almost done. Then on to quad 3. Okay, guys, I guess let's get into it.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to chime in and tell you that we have some extra videos on our broadcast YouTube page at Gopher Nation News if you want to check them out. We should have just uploaded a video that has NFL cooking, baking competition as well as chicken wings. If you want to go check that out, it kind of shows you a little bit in the daily life of our broadcast students. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. You should go check that out if you want to see some extra videos. Peace.
First up today, we have something that everyone has been wondering about. Everyone's been thinking about. And guess what it is? Guess! Just kidding. Don't guess. It's an update about going back to school! I know. So our reporter, Carmen, has interviewed Mr. Shelton about the latest information and has asked some of you what you guys think about going back to school, not going back to school, you know, your guys' opinion. So, hope you enjoy.
How long until we have a chance of returning to school in person?
That's a great question. We were hoping that this week would have gave us a little bit more clarity from, we follow OHA, Oregon Health Authority, and ODE, Oregon Department of Education. We follow their guidance. And we were hoping that this week they were going to give us a little bit more guidance to let us know when that will happen. Right now it's up to the board and obviously the district leadership to let us know what the next steps will be. And so they're still working through those things. So I don't have a guarantee of saying, hey, this is the date that we'll come back. I know that because of the guidance that was just released to us, that there's some wiggle room that we have. And so one of the things that we've been looking at is the LIPI. So there's the hybrid model where there's sort of like you're coming in and it's the school day, and there's the LIPI. LIPI is limited in-person instruction. And so in that LIPI model is what we're really looking at. But the tricky part about LIPI is that it does not count towards the school day. So your school day is from 8:30 to 4:30, and LIPI cannot happen while the school day is going. So we're just trying to work around that and figure out how we can work in some LIPI to get kids back into the building. So the hybrid model, and one that I'll just say one that we feel like there's a lot of barriers in that. And one of those is that the fact that because of the social distance, again, the health authority guidelines and ODE guidelines that say that we can't, if you're in the building, we can't have you rotate. So what hybrid would look like is we would kind of split you up in your advisories. Advisories run between 27 and 32 students. We would split them up. And again, how that split looks, we're not clear about that yet, but we would split them up where you would come into the classroom, to your advisory classroom. And during the day, again, this is the hybrid model. And then during the day, you would be able to be in person while you're still doing online instruction with your other teachers. Again, not the best model and not one that we want to really start with right now, just because of all the barriers, not being able to rotate in one class all day while you're, getting instruction from other teachers. It's just, there's a lot of barriers with that one. The limited in-person, the only real barrier with that, number one, there's the cohorts still have to match, and the numbers within the classroom still have to match. So that's one barrier, but I think we can work through that. The other is just figuring out which groups of students really we need to have into the building, and really trying to look at different models in different and other districts that have Lippy and are running Lippy, and seeing which ones would be the most successful for our students. So that's really what we're focusing on right now, is really doing that Lippy model of bringing students in. But again, it can't take away from the school day. So just trying to figure out how we do that. It's still a work in progress.
If schools were open, would students be required to attend in person?
No required. So we will not require students to be here. There was a survey, actually a few surveys sent out before the new year. And I think there'll be another one coming up soon here from the district, that really, once we get the type of, what the Lippy will look like or the hybrid will look like, there'll be a survey out to parents and students to say, hey, do you want to come do this, or do you want to continue doing the online piece? And so, again, there's no pressure on anybody. There's no mandates. It's just, which model would you prefer? And then we would go there, but there's no mandates for any students to come back in any type of in-person.
If kids did go back in person, would they be required to have the vaccine?
No, but we cannot force anyone to take a shot, myself included. Like nobody can tell you, in order for you to come to work, you have to take a shot. So we, it's there for folks who want it when it's their turn to get it. But as far as like mandating in order for people to return, we don't have that.
Okay. The last one is, if we were to go back in person, what precautions would be taken?
Still the regular safety precautions, social distancing. We have the classroom set up right now to where if students were coming in, we have the square footage kind of lined out already. So we know kind of the number of students per class. And so we've taken the I guess you can say pre-precautions of setting up the building for the in case students come in. But again, social distancing, washing your hands, making sure that we follow all the rules and guidelines that OHA has put out there. But nothing more than that, that anybody would have to do. Again, there's no extra, face masks or extra gloves that anybody has to wear. It's going to be, we'll have all that stuff laid out for students as they, if we're able to return into the building. I just want to make sure that students know that, number one, online learning is available throughout this rest of the school year. So I don't want students to feel like they have to be rushed back into the school. You can continue on your distance learning if it's working for folks. The main reason that we wanted to try to have some type of Lippy or hybrid is to really get students back with peer-to-peer contact, right? I think there's a lot of students that are missing their friends, and there's only so much we can do with this social distancing, right? And so our main thing is around the social emotional learning of students and making sure that people are safe. But we definitely want to make sure that if we have students to come back into the building, that we're taking all safety precautions before that happens. So again, but I just want to make sure that students know that they are not forced or mandated to be back in the building, and we're still working through what those nuances will be to get students back in the building.
I sure hope that we can get back to school as soon as possible, as soon as it's safe for everyone. Reminder, wear your masks. In the meanwhile, just a little reminder again, do your work. Do your work. I know distance learning is hard. It's been hard for me. And just get those last minute things into Google Classroom. The quad ends this Thursday. Just a reminder again, quad ends this Thursday. Next, we have a choir update about their amazing virtual performances.
Upcoming events are happening through distance learning.
Well, past one would be our winter concert, which is still available on YouTube. And then upcoming is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a concert in March, and it will have a lot of concert choir in it, Gresham Men's Choir, Encore. We're going to use the same soundtrack, which is a miracle. At least put our music together. So now that I know how to do it too, it's like really, really excited to put out another concert.
Yeah. So choir is one big happy family, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
How have you tried to keep everyone connected?
Well, I feel like because we did a lot of sectionals, you know, where the tenors, sopranos, basses, altos were together, that really helped a lot. We had a lot of fun, you know, working on music in sections. But I also just had a meeting with choir this morning, actually, and we're going to try to do a lot more fun stuff.
Yeah.
So we can only do so much music in this venue of this virtual thing, and what we're missing is the big family connection that we get every single day when we're together. So we're going to work on that, doing more mixed groups, more random breakout groups, and listening to music and just talking about each other, you know,
Yeah.
and how we are.
What is something that you've accomplished through distance learning that you thought couldn't happen?
Well, I definitely did not think the concert could happen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. When I first started, you know, I mean, I even got my treble choir on there, and I have never even met them, you know. And so, anyway, I didn't think it could really be possible, but it really is possible, and I love how it turned out. We don't have the same, it's completely different. It's like a completely different experience. But as far as our music, it's us, and we put it together all online and got to present it. So I'd say that was kind of most surprising.
Yeah, that was great.
What are some updates that the students should know about how concert choir is going?
As of right now, there aren't many updates going on with concert choir, but we have been asked to sing at a memorial for Dr. Bruce Brown, who was a close friend of the concert choir family and was, in the past, Janine Kirstein's instructor. He has helped us out with a lot of stuff. He taught us, and he was a good friend for all of us. But sadly, he has passed away, and he did that in December. And hopefully we can commemorate him in an awesome way by singing Sleep by Eric Whitaker for him. We hope that we can do him proud.
Has choir easily adjusted to distance learning?
I wouldn't say they've easily adjusted. Then again, I don't think anyone has, seriously. We've had to put in a lot of extra work, and we've had to really nitpick things that we've been working on in our singing. Every time someone misses a note, someone has to go in and edit it, or we have to go and re-record it and do all that things to make it perfect. I don't think it's been easy. Has it been worth it? Of course. But we're working hard and we're continuing to go at it, so as long as we are continuing to do that, I think we'll be fine.
Claire, you guys sound awesome in your virtual performances, and I cannot wait until I can hear you in person. Your singing's like music to my ears or something, you know. So next, we thought you guys needed some maybe inspiration of what to watch over this 3-day weekend, because the quad is coming to an end on Thursday. It's coming to an end, and even the cow semester's ending. So get that work in, just by the way. But by Friday, the quad will be over, and since you have a 3-day weekend, here's some recommendations of what to watch.
Hey Gophers, I am Jack Prince, and some shows I'm currently watching include The History of Swear Words with Nicolas Cage. It's got a little bit of harsh reviews. I think it has like a 66%, but I just think people are looking for perfect where perfect can't be. I think it's perfectly fine as is, but that's just me. I'm also watching Arrested Development. It's a very good comedy. It's pretty long too, that I can just pick up and drop. I can play it as background sound. I don't have to be as committed as you do with other shows, like The Mandalorian, which many of you have probably finished. or The Boys, where all you want to do is finish it in like 3 days. And yeah, those are 2 of the shows I've been watching. Have a great day, and remember that it can't rain all the time.
TV shows I am currently watching right now are Psychopath Diary and Strong Woman to Bong Soon, and let me tell you, both shows are incredible because the actors know how to get into characters super well, so you'll be crying and laughing at the same time, and there's a lot of humor and mystery to it, so you'll definitely fall in love by the end if you watch the show.
TV shows that I've watched is, well, I've watched quite a lot of shows, to be honest. I've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender all the way through. I've watched BoJack Horseman. I've watched Community, Rick and Morty, Bates Motel, and I loved all of those shows, and they were all really, really good. And I've also watched My Hero Academia, which is an anime, which is really good. I've also watched a lot of movies as well, like all the Star Wars movies for the first time, and a TV show I'm on right now is Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I'm on season 2 of that right now, and I'm hoping that it gets really good. Yeah.
Over quarantine, I have been watching Disenchantment, Phineas and Ferb, All American, Stranger Things, Gravity Falls, basically rewatching a lot of shows I watched when I was younger because there's not that much good stuff out now.
During quarantine, my favorite show to watch has definitely been The Office.
So currently, I'm watching 2 shows right now. So first one, Disenchantment. I'm sure like a lot of you've heard it. It's on Netflix. I just think it's so funny, and my favorite character, the demon Lucy, or Elfo. I am Elfo. I think it's so funny. It's just a good laugh. Takes my mind away from my stressors. That's one of them being school. But get your working, guys. Second show I'm watching, it's an anime called Great Pretender. It's with these con artists, and they only con bad guys and stuff. And pretty much that's all we have for you guys today. Stay tuned though to watch more information about how you can follow our Instagram and our Twitter. So that's all for me. That's all for now.